Hi, I'm Chad with Move for Guitar. This lesson is from our series Guitar Chords for Beginners. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to play an open D minor 7 chord. First off, if you'd like to get the diagram for this chord, the chord chart, you can click the link on the screen and it'll take you to an eGuide that you can download for free. And this eGuide includes this chord as well as a whole bunch of other beginner chords that are really useful to learn. It has really common beginner chords as well as less common ones. And not only do I show you how to play the chords, give you diagrams for those, but I show you how to put the chords together into chord progressions. So it includes a whole bunch of chord progressions that I have taken from the chords in the eGuide and put them together in sequences so you can see how they go together in a musical situation, and it'll also give you ideas of how to put these chords together into your own chord progressions. So if you'd like to get that eGuide for free, just click the link on the screen and you can download that. Here's an open D minor 7 chord. And this is a less common beginner chord. It's a little more difficult to play because you have a little bar in it, which I'll explain. But it's a really useful chord, and there's a lot you can do with it. You can replace the regular D minor with it, which you should learn the regular D minor first. There's a link in the description on how to play that. That's more important to learn first, but this would definitely be a good one to learn as a beginner because there's a lot you can do with it and adds a lot of nice color to your sound. But like I said, it's a little more difficult to play, and that's because you have a bar here. And a bar is when you're fretting two notes at once, two or more notes at once. Typically, when you're just fretting a single note, you just on the tip of your finger, you just play that note. But here, you're having to bar two notes at once. And the way you have to do that is to lay your first finger really flat on the second and first string in the first fret. So you're catching both of those notes with your first finger. So that's going to take a lot of practice if you've never done that before. But it's really valuable to learn early on because not only is it used in this chord, it's the exact same bar you're going to have to use for an F major chord. And the F major chord is a really important chord, but it's one of the most difficult beginner chords because of that bar. So if you can learn it, it'll really be beneficial to you. And it might be easier to learn the D minor 7 before the F major because you're not fretting as many notes. You're not having to use your third finger to fret a note. So just really work on getting that bar first, getting those two notes. Before you do anything, just get those two notes to ring out before you work on adding the other note in, which I'll show you in a second. And make sure that when you're barring, you're probably going to keep your thumb down, and it's going to be pretty close to right behind your first finger. It's not going to be over here. If you keep it up, it's going to be a lot harder to get that pressure on that note. Eventually you'll probably be able to with the F major chord. I usually play it with my thumb up. But to start off, just get your thumb right behind your first finger or close to it so you can use that as a clamp to clamp these two notes down, and that'll really help you to get the notes to ring out. If you keep your thumb up, it's going to be a lot harder to get that to bar. But you can try it either way as well. I mean, maybe your hand anatomy allows you to bar it easier like this with your thumb higher up, but I recommend trying it first with your thumb down. So like I said, you're barring those two notes, learn that first. The other note that you're playing, that you're fretting, is with your second finger on the third string, second fret. So those are the only notes you fret, the first, second, and third strings with two fingers. And just like the regular D minor chord or an open D major chord, you're starting your strum on the fourth string, which is the open D string. You're not strumming the fifth string or the sixth string, so you have to be really accurate to start your strum on that fourth string. If you hit the fifth string a little bit, it's all right. That note is actually in the chord, but if you hit it too much, it's going to become really muddy. So try to be as accurate as possible to start your strum on the fourth string. And make sure that your second finger is really arched up so that it's not blocking out the fourth string or the second string. You really have to arch it here, not have any bend back in your joint like that. And like I said, your first finger is going to be pretty flat. And you're going to have to find what feels best to you, whether it's a little bit of an angle or whatever. But you're on this part of your finger. You're not on the tip of your finger because you have to catch both of those notes. And like I said, if you'd like to get the chord chart for this, as well as a bunch of other beginner chords and chord progressions, click the link on the screen. It'll take you to an e-guide that you can download for free, and it'll be really useful to you to show you how to play this chord, a bunch of other chords, and then how to put them together in a musical situation. So that's an open D minor 7 chord.